Well, g'day, it's Jono Brake here from The Forge Leader with another round of Monday Myth Check. Excuse all the washing of the surf around me. I'm actually still on Sydney Harbour, was on last week's as well. And last week we talked about this whole idea of leadership and no one person. Today I want to talk about, leadership needs to be rushed. Okay, it needs to happen quickly. We've got to do things quickly and move along. And if you're a dominant in the DISC or an 8 in the Enneagram, I'm looking at you. So this whole thing about rushing leadership. Okay, now, of course, all of us would look at, would think about it and go, okay, I get it. It shouldn't be rushed. It should be strategic. We should be careful about how we do things, all that sort of thing. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw an analogy today with the Sydney Opera House behind me, which from memory, it took 14 years to build it. And I think it opened in 1974 or something like that. But anyway, it took a long time to build. Now today, it's one of those prominent buildings. In fact, if I just pan behind me, you can see there's a whole, probably 2 or 3 busloads of tourists. This is a place called Mrs. Macquarie's Chair. Great view of the city, very popular with tourists. And so, the Sydney Opera House and of course then the Sydney Harbour Bridge behind it are just such well-known landmarks around the world. And so if you come here, these are the places you want to visit. Okay, so it's interesting, 14 years and lots of political posturing and lots of problems in construction, a unique design building, all those sorts of things created that, which, kind of reminds you of a dish rack sometimes or something like that maybe. But anyway, it's really cool. There's a ferry coming up behind me as well right now, coming up the harbour. But the whole point is it took time. And leadership takes time. Now, if you are rushing your leaders, if you are rushing your leadership and you're trying to move too quickly, then you're going to create some problems here, okay? So when we think about, just rushing our time and doing that sort of thing, then we're probably cutting corners. We're probably moving on stuff too quickly. We might be burning our team out because we just go, no rest, no stopping, no celebration, all that. So that's a big one actually with people who do I just want to get it done now. Leadership needs to be done quickly, or, something needs to be done fast. So you're probably burning your team out. Okay, you're probably creating challenges that are, they're big challenges in terms of, a lot of this stuff stems back to how you treat your people, but also having clarity of process, making sure your systems are in place, because there's nothing wrong with getting more effective and more efficient. There's nothing wrong with building those things out. But at the same time, you've got to think about, okay, so how do I grow these things in a way that creates a sustainability? Maybe there's automation involved. Maybe there's other things that you could be doing. So anyway, just something to think about. So if you're rushing as a leader today, I want you to think about the Sydney Opera House. 14 years it took. And today, whatever it is, 50 odd years later, it's such a beautiful building that is so prominent on the Sydney skyline. Here we go, just panning back again. Got lots of tourists coming in behind me wanting to get in my shot. Oh, they'll be famous one day maybe. But this whole idea, it takes time. Okay, and even then, they made a lot of mistakes. So, for example, the Opera Theatre wasn't big enough. The stage they'd just spent $1 billion redoing a lot of the insides. The forecourt's been changed a number of times and become much more tourist friendly. Do you know what was actually here prior to that? Originally, it was a fort. And then it became a tram depot under the old Sydney tram network, which I think finished in the 50s. So there's been lots of iterations, and then the Opera House was built after that. So the idea being that leadership takes time. We've got to stop and think. There needs to be a strategy. By the way, there needs to be a unified team. One of the things that happened with this, for example, the architect, he resigned and left because he wasn't happy with the project managers and the government of the day. And then eventually the whole thing got such a hot mess that he was brought back again years later. And so, so it takes time, and it takes a unity of leadership, which means you've got to have clear purpose and communication and all those sorts of things going on. So anyway, I want you to think about that today. If you are the kind of person who rushes your leadership, who wants to get stuff done yesterday, I want you to pause and think. Leaders don't rush. They strategize. They think through things. But going faster does not get you better results. Anyway, something to think about. I'm Jono Brake. As always, enjoy the journey.